Girl, I got a microphone. She's small, yes. But is she gonna get the job done? Absolutely. Hey, what is up? It's me, Apollo. Bury it. Today we're gonna be talking about Ethel Cain. But real quick, I'm gonna go over the law of Preacher's Daughter just so you can kind of get a gist of who she is. This is Ethel Cain. This is Hayden. Hayden and Adonia. They are they are played by the same people, apart from Ethel Cain is not real. Hayden most definitely is. But Ethel is played by Hayden. Now, a lot of people don't know this. People think that Hayden only started going under the name of Ethel pre-Preacher's Daughter, which is actually not necessarily true. Hayden started using Ethel around about late 2010s, I want to say. I could be wrong on that, so fact check me, but I'm almost sure I'm positive. You know, she's an all-American girl, and she just wants to live that all-American perfect lifestyle. Okay, so I have some views on Ethel Cain, some personal views that I would obviously like to voice. But before I get into that, I'm going to break down the law for y'all through Preacher's Daughter, song by song, what it means, but I'm going to fly through it. So if y'all want to go into deeper law, I'll put a link in the bio for a lower video for you guys. Okay, so the first song in Preacher's Daughter is Family Tree Intro. Now in this album there is two songs called Family Tree and they are like each other apart from number one is an intro, a much shorter version of the second version. In Family Tree we get introduced to Ethel Cain and it takes place in I think 1991, and at this point we're being introduced to Ethel, and this song is more of like a reflection on Ethel's feelings with religion, you know, which we say with these crosses all over my body remind me of who I used to be. So she's almost talking in past tense when she's singing this song, like that's the person I used to be, like it's more of a reflection type of thing. Then we're going to move straight on to American Teenager. American Teenager takes place in a small town in Alabama, or Alabama. I don't quite know the actual pronunciation of that place. The song does sound upbeat, and I think it's like one of the most popular songs from the album, but the lyrics do suggest a different diva. Okay, this is where we say Ethel sort of losing faith in her religion. She wants to be living that perfect, ideal, all-American teenager lifestyle that she's almost created as a fantasy. And, you know, she sees everybody else getting to live in a perfect American lifestyle, but the expectations on Ethel at this time are extremely high considering her dad's a pastor. The second verse, we also get introduced to the fact that her daddy's dead. Like, her daddy dead, bitch. So her daddy's dead, and, you know, this whole legacy has been put onto her. She definitely cannot live the all-American lifestyle now because she's going to church every Sunday and she's doing her daddy's job. At this point, Ethel's drowned herself in alcohol. You know, and she even starts pleading to God, like, Jesus, if you're here, let me handle my liquor. Ethel's struggling at this point. And that's when we move on to A House in Nebraska. So A House in Nebraska is all about an ex-lover of hers, Wilbury Tucker. At this point, we're still, as a present, Ethel, reflecting back on life. She's reflected on her religion. She's reflecting on her time in the church after her father passed. And now she's reflecting on her ex-lover, Wilbury Tucker. Now, they had a plan to leave Alabama together and go live in an abandoned house in Nebraska. You know, I'm still praying for the house in Nebraska. This song, there was a lot of lore behind this, but like the main thing you need to know is it's just reminiscent on Wilbury Tucker. Girl, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Now we're in Western Nights. At this point, we are in the present. We get introduced to a new lover called Logan. Yeah. Y'all can tell by my face, like, this bitch is not playing. Logan is extremely violent. He abuses her, um, through shades of black and blue, which Ethel says in her song. And this is sort of telling us about the fact that Logan would abuse her a lot most of the time, but for her, there is no getting out of this relationship because it's either being with Logan or going back to her family. And Ethel is just trying to escape her legacy at this point. So then we get into Family Tree, which is still in the present, and we're still sort of, at this point, we're with Logan. Y'all in it? Y'all in it. So Logan is like breaking into ATMs. He's basically like, he's a little thief. He's a little thief mama. He's abusing her. He's stealing. Like, he's lying. He's not the perfect guy. So basically, Logan ends up getting involved in a robbery, which leads to a fatal encounter with the Pow Pow. At this point, Ethel is always with him. Ethel's constantly with him, and she is now seen as an accomplice to this robbery, which for Ethel, that's not good. So she takes it upon herself and she's like, right, bitch, I'm out of here. Fuck this shit, bitch. Fuck this shit.
Let's go.
So then we're moving on to hard times. At this point, Ethel's on the run and she's sort of reminiscing, but like not in a good way, of her relationship with her father. And how she's reminiscing on the fact that, but like not reminiscing, but like kind of is like thinking back to the when she was a childhood with her father, and her father would abuse her, inflicted abuse on her. Now I'm not going to get into detail about that because I could get into detail about this song because Hard Times, one of my favorites on this album, without a doubt, one of my favorites. So she's thinking about the times when when her dad would abuse her all the time and inflict pain on her, etc. Yet, even though he's passed and he abused her, she still sort of feels respect for him in a way. Now that is like, like that's tea, bitch. Like that's real tea. Then it's like thoroughfare. At this point, we've stopped reminiscing on Daddy, and we're on the run. We're hitchhiking through the hills, baby girl, in Alabama. And basically, in the song, it makes it out like this guy pulls up and he's like, do you want to see the West with me? And she's like, yeah, if that's what you need, but that's not the fact at all. Turns out, this is where we get introduced to Isaiah. Isaiah? Bitch, he kidnapped her. He kidnapped her. He yeeted that bitch in the back of his car. But they're hitting all these small towns on the way to California, and Ethel's growing fond of him. Like, Ethel's starting to fall in love. She finally is like in one of the motel's rooms. She's like, I started to see a man since I was a child who wasn't angry, and I was like, oh, tea, bitch, tea. Then it's like Gibson Girl. At this point, bitch, we're in California. Isaiah starts pimping Ethel out to strip clubs. So Ethel's making back, but it's not her money, it's Isaiah's. He's pimping her out. He's got her addicted to drugs, he's got her addicted to alcohol, and guess what? He starts grooming her into thinking this is normal behavior, like it's perfectly fine, like he loves her, etc., etc. And I'm like, bitch, what? But at the same time, there is no escaping that, Like, if he's kidnapped you and he's pimping you out at the strip clubs, bitch, there's nothing you can do. Damn. But I've got to say, my favorite lyric from Gibson Girl is definitely, he's in love with my body, that's why he's fucking it up. I was like, okay, bitch, tea. Then we're at Patloma. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Patloma is the ninth circle of hell where traders go. At this point, Ethel's off her head on drugs and she's like hallucinating all this shit. And she's hallucinating about being killed by Isaiah, which she thinks she deserves, and it is sealed fate because she betrayed her family. She betrayed her legacy, she betrayed her father, she betrayed the church. And so Ethel's thinking, I'm going to Paloma, which is the ninth circle of hell in Dante's Inferno, and this is where traders go. So I was like, okay, bitch, I'm definitely going there. I was like, see, bitch. And if y'all want to know what exactly she means by stop, 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 bitch, that's female rage at its finest. But that's basically she saying Isaiah come towards her, and like she knows what's happening, and she's begging him with her life, quite literally, stop. But Isaiah doesn't. He puts her home. He kills her. So at this point, we're at August Underground, and this is kind of a confirmation of Ethel's death. Now, August Underground and Televangelism are both instrumentals, but they are beautiful. Beautiful. I've never been an instrumental kind of girly until Preacher's Daughter. So at this point, August Underground is like confirmation. Our girl's dead. Mother Cain's dead. Then we move on to Televangelism. At this point, Ethel's not going to hell. She's not going to Pluma. I can't say bitch, speech impairment or whatever it's called. Like, she's going to heaven. In this instrumental alone, you can tell by the vibe, the function, the bitch is going to heaven. It's sort of like an ascension sort of instrumental. These have got to be the two of the most beautiful, like, just so soul clutching instrumentals I've heard in my life. At this point, we're moving on to Some Bleach Flies. So at this point, Ethel's sort of reflecting. In her last moments, she went back to her roots, you know? She was, in her last moments, she was praying. In her last moments, she was hoping that some divine intervention would step in. But they didn't. Ethel's reflecting on that whole sort of scenario, and then also, she's trying to be at peace. Trying to be at peace with her fate and all the people she's wronged, you know, the church, her mother, her father, you know, all of them, which her daddy's clearly not up there, bitch, because he was whooping her ass, bitch. At this point, we're at the final song, the final stage of the album, Preacher's Daughter, Strangers. Strangers is more of like a goodbye letter to her mother, and she's basically talking about the fact that Isaiah cannibalized her, which we also hear, which I've got the lyric brought down, bitch. That's how prepared I am for this. How funny I never considered myself tough. This is basically Ethel making light of the situation that she's watching Isaiah chow down on her, and she's like, wow, I never considered myself tough.
DGAF. I don't give a fuck. Period.
Then we've got the lyrics, if I'm turning in your stomach, am I making you feel sick? Now, I interpreted this a couple of different ways, one of which I interpreted it as almost like she's turning in his stomach because she's not turning in an actual grave. So she's seeing this and she's turning in his stomach, making him sick. But at the same time, she's saying to him, like, am I making you feel sick? Like, he should be sick with guilt after what he's done, but he isn't. So Ethel's like, am I making you feel sick? In like a guilty conscience sort of way. But at the same time is saying, am I making you feel sick? She's still trying to please him. She's still trying to some sort of affection from him still, even though the bitch is dead and she's watching him. She's like, am I making you feel sick? And like, she's also mad about trusting him, so she's like, you know, am I making you feel sick? And also, just so y'all know this, Isaiah puts her body in a freezer.
I can't. Get out.
And I think, like, eats her on different occasions. Like, am I making you feel sick? Yeah, I'm sick, bitch. I'm like, what? But yeah, so that's pretty much like broke down real quick, fast. Like, y'all have a short attention span kind of situation. The Preacher's Daughter lore. Okay? Now I'm gonna get into my main questions and answers of Ethel Cain. Period. Now, what exactly do I think makes modern artists today and Ethel Cain so different? Modern artists today make songs that are trendy, catchy. Now, I'm not hating because I love me a trendy, catchy song, you know, but they do it on purpose to gain widespread popularity and making songs that are guaranteed to generate high streams. They do everything based on how much money they can get, how many views they can get, how many clicks, how many downloads, how many sales, like the whole day, bitch. Ethel, on the other hand, bitch, oh, Hayden, you're a beautiful soul. Hayden sort of focuses on expressing her unique artistic vision, whereas a lot of other artists don't. I think Ethel, she doesn't really care. And I will always stick by this, what I'm about to say. You don't need to be widespread, extremely famous to have the most beautiful music ever. Because Hayden, and also side note, I know I've been referring to Hayden in this video as Ethel, but that's for like the new people who want to know the law, understand who Ethel is. We're still talking about Hayden, who plays Ethel Cain, who came up with the character Ethel Cain. This woman is a genius. I think artists and Ethel are totally different. There's like a huge difference between them because Ethel is truly just Hayden, is just a beautiful soul. And her music actually really connects with the audience. I mean, for me, it did. So, like, you got something to say about the mother. Now, what are my favorite albums? Girl, easy peasy. Inbred, Preacher's Daughter, Perverts. My top 3 albums of Ethel Cain, of Ethel Cain / Hayden. Boom, in order. I'm just going to refer to her as Hayden from now on because we're past the law part. My top 5 songs of Ethel's of all time do switch pretty much every couple of days, but my ones right now in this moment are Morning Elvis with Florence and the Machine, because, bitch, when they dress me and they put me on a plane to Memphis, well, so good. Inbred from the Inbred album, Humanist from Perverts, Punished from Perverts, and Hard Times from Preacher's Daughter. Like, they're my top 5 right now. This is where I just like wanted to get my opinion in. This is the reason I made the video. What is my opinion on Ethel Cain? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to tell you what my opinion on Ethel Cain is. Ethel Cain, that hoe? I'm joking. Hayden / Ethel Cain for me has just been, she's truly changed my life. Because I don't mean to get too deep here, y'all, but I'm gonna get deep. When I listen to Ethel Cain, I'm almost like ascended, bitch. Like, I'm astral projecting. I'm out. It's an out of body experience, you know? Hayden once talked about in one of her videos about how for her, she doesn't think there's a man upstairs. She's almost like gets to experience God through things, whether it's music, nature, and it's kind of like a full circle. It's like a ring. And for me, it really hit deep because I'm like, yeah. When I listen to Hayden's music, I have this feeling of just like awe at it. And with everything combined, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful art. And for me, getting to experience that is almost like getting to experience God within itself, you know? You know, to be that talented and to have lyricism, talent, and just everything she possesses, it's truly just like, it's mind twisting, sitting down, analysing an album like Preacher's Daughter, or analysing a project like Perverts, and sort of not just experiencing it within itself, you know, and getting to just indulge in this beautiful, like, art, but at the same time, like, full on analysing every song and realising that every single thing is in there on purpose, down to the words, down to the titles. It is just, it is like mind blown. Like, I could definitely sit down and write a whole entire essay on Ethel Cain if I wanted to, but I've had far too caffeine for my brain to function. That's why I'm like all over the place right now. I'm definitely a little bit confused with a lot of what I'm seeing right now on TikTok, which is Ethel's new album Perverts was scary, had to knock it off. Okay, that shit freaked me out, never listening to it again. I had to knock it off halfway through because like I shit my pants. Or it's like the songs are too long and you know, some of them are instrumentals and there's not that much words in it, and some songs you can't make out what she's saying. And I'm like, girl, I sat in the pitch black at like 3 o'clock in the morning listening to Perverts, this project that Ethel's been working on / hidden, and for me it wasn't scary or like chilling. Like it was more like it was more comforting, sort of like the only way I can describe it is like an old friend. Like, if you're really cold and that this like your perfect blanket right there. It's like so warm, and you just wrap it around you, and you just think like comfort. For me, it was definitely comfort in this new project of Hidden's. It gave me chills. Like first time listening to that bitch, I ascended. It was the same experience with Breach's Daughter, the same experience with Inbred, and just these albums, which honestly I don't refer to them as albums because of how like close I hold them to me. I sort of refer to them as projects of art pieces of Hidden's. It's truly like they're masterpieces. They really are. I think for me, I definitely see Ethel Cain as like a role model in my life. Back to what I was saying before, she has definitely changed my life in so many ways. Listening to these songs and hearing how this amazing woman just put everything I was feeling and thinking into a song and just made it so beautiful. It was like, whoa. But like, it's not even just that. Like, overall, hypothetically, in a sense, I've experienced God in so many ways. Like, through like the beautiful things I see, through like experiencing nature, experiencing experiences that you've never experienced before. Say experience one more time, bitch. I'ma clock your shit. But like, it's so true. Like for me, Ethel just like she makes so many things, and she explained to me why I felt certain ways about certain things, and it was just really beautiful work, bitch. Like getting all excited talking about it. I'm like, okay, calm down. She's not here, bitch. I definitely don't know what I would do if I seen Ethel Cain. I'd probably just like drop to the floor and pass out. I'd flatline on the spot. I just overall wanted to come on here and have an excuse to talk about Ethel Cain, so bitch I did. But yeah, I think she's a beautiful, beautiful soul. Like I love Hidden with my heart entirely. Like bitch, I've got where is she? I've got like a preacher's daughter sort of photo thing on my desk. Um, Back over there, I have like a shit ton of Ethel Cain photos. I've got her like one in her truck holding a gun, well hidden. I've also got Perverts the album back here, as you can see. That's my Brittany Broski certificate for getting Brittany Broski merch. I know, bushy bitch. But I also have a lot of FLK things coming in like 2 weeks. Like I've got glass frame photos, phone cases. Like, okay, y'all. When I get a hyperfixation, it is like it's not okay. Like the things I do when I become obsessed with something, it's definitely not okay, and I definitely should be put in a home for it, like an insane asylum, because the way I go on is ridiculous. I sort of develop a personality based on my favorite songs and favorite artists, because for me, like, I don't ever have a hyperfixation on anything else apart from music and artists. I went from obsessed with Nicki Minaj for about 3 years, and then it was like I instantly switched to like Gracie Abrams and Role Model, and SZA, and it's like, girl, these hyperfixations are not okay. Get you a life. Is it true I spend most of my days obsessing over these artists, constantly listening to the music, analysing even more? Like, bitch, I got that fucking, like, crazy about it. I'm sitting down and I'm like, okay, in this song, Facilitator, she says, if you love me, keep it to yourself. And I was kind of thinking, like, I got that strung into obsession mode. I was like, what if this is almost a way of saying, by the way, after I've already analysed the song and I already know what she means by saying, if you love me, keep it to yourself, which, by the way, can we talk about how in her other songs in Preacher's Daughter, she's preaching literally about how if you hate me, don't tell me. And then in like Facilitator, she's like, if you love me, keep it to yourself. Bitch, I already know what that means in the song. Yet I'm sat here going, what if this is to her fans saying, if you love me, gatekeep me? So like, everyone doesn't obsess with my music and make me turn it into, modern sort of pop altness. And I was like, girl, I've got to tell the fans, I've got to tell the daughters again about this. But I was like, chill, okay? Chill. Get you a life, okay? First of all, get you a life. Second of all, get you some dick. Third of all, go to sleep. Like, that was genuinely what I was thinking because I was making myself crazy about it. Anyways, that's not the point overall. I just want to say, like, I really love Ethel with everything I have slash hidden. And her albums are just so perfect because they're just so fucking beautiful. Like, Perverts was like, wow. And y'all bitches who will keep complaining about the length of the songs, grow up. It is clearly not for you. If a 19-minute song is not satisfying, don't listen to it. It's not that fucking hard. Overall, people need to grow up and they need to stop talking shit about Mother Cain's newest project because it's truly a beautiful masterpiece. I said what I said. No takes backsies. Overall, yeah, I want an excuse to come in here and talk about Ethel Cain because, like I said, hyperfixation. I am so fucked up. It's crazy, bitch. But yeah, if y'all want me to go into like a deeper level lore about the whole entirety of Ethel Cain, and I'm talking about like deep diving into Preacher's Daughter, deep diving into Perverts, and deep diving to like Inbred, Golden Age, bitch, we can do that. Because, as y'all can see, I don't have a life, so I've got plenty of times on my hand. This is how like mentally challenged I am. I can't even pronounce words right. So if y'all want that, just like holler at me, bitch. Holler at me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Like, torts appreciate it. Yeah, I guess just like if y'all want to, let me know what you want me to do next. If it's more Tolkien, if it's more musical, like bitch, I will do anything at this point. If y'all want me to get on this app and get my ass out, I'll do that for you guys. I'll do it for you guys. I'm joking, I won't. Will I? But yeah, if y'all want to speak to me or give me ideas for videos, or if I've gotten some information wrong and y'all want to fact check my ass, y'all can get me it. Apollo_Smith05 on Instagram. No capitals. And I don't know the email, so I'll just put it in the description. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.